What would you say 3 years in now to your experience as being one of those young gun mayors that came onto the scene? I think there's 5 of you across the state of Indiana. What would you say your experience has been? Obviously you bring a breath of energy, drive, enthusiasm for the position. What challenges did you face, and how did you individually or collectively work through those?
You know, it's been really fun to come into office at a time when a number of other young mayors were taking office around the state of Indiana. The nearest one is Mayor Blair Milo in LaPorte, who's a good friend, and we got others throughout the state, and it's great just to be able to compare notes, see how things look through their eyes, because we face a lot of the same challenges, but I think we also came in on the same kind of wave of hope for the future. You know, a community doesn't pick a rookie and put him in unless they want to send a certain message about being future oriented and thinking about where our city's headed in a way that's embracing innovation, questioning habit, and looking for creativity. And I think you saw that right here in South Bend and in the other communities that chose younger leaders as well. It's not necessarily one generation versus another. As a matter of fact, we did better among senior citizens than almost any other group in the city. It's about looking to the future and trying not to be bogged down by some of the strings attached that come with being on the scene for a long time. Now we've benefited from having people in the administration of all ages, folks who've been on the scene since before I was born, practicing their craft, whether it's in engineering or public works or parks or other areas of the city. Others who had never even considered public service before I asked them to serve, came in from the private sector, or like me, were pretty young and pretty new. So we've been able to build a really broad-based, diverse coalition of leaders, stepping up and taking the future of our city forward. But it's been great fun to not be the only young person in the mix and to compare notes with some of the others.
So a little bit of young thinking, not necessarily young, you know, in age.
The important thing is to have a fresh approach, and sometimes a fresh approach comes from somebody with a lot of experience. Sometimes a fresh approach takes somebody with new eyes who hasn't been working on it before to ask maybe sometimes the silly questions, but that haven't been asked in a long time. So around here we always say, if it's always been done that way, why? And if there's a good reason, we'll keep doing it, but if there isn't, it's not a good enough reason just to say we're doing it because we've always done it that way.